Assalamu alaikum. It's nice to join you all again for the third episode of learning how to incorporate the beloved names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the characteristics of those names into our relationships and our interactions with our spouses and with our families. Yesterday we spoke about one of the first names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ar-Rahman, and today we're going to talk about the second name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ar-Raheem. As we said, we begin everything with Bismillah Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, because the words compassion and mercy truly go hand in hand. Now, how can we incorporate that rahmah, that mercy, into our interactions on a day-to-day basis with our spouses and with our children? Mercy goes beyond that element of empathy and compassion that we talked about yesterday, and takes one to a place where you recognize that there may be something going on in a situation, in an interaction, but you choose to be merciful towards that person. You choose to overlook a fault. You choose to show kindness in the form of giving from yourself for the sake of someone else in order to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of my favorite narrations of understanding mercy comes from Sittina Aisha radiallahu anha, who spoke of a time when a woman with 2 children came to her home asking for something to eat, something in which to feed herself and her children. And as we know, in the month of Ramadan now, we know the beauty of breaking our fast upon dates, of eating that first taste of dates, that sweetness to break our fast with. And so Sittina Aisha looked around the home and found 3 dates, and that was all that she had to give. In her generosity, in her compassion, she gave the 3 dates, 1 to the mother and 1 to each child. The children quickly ate the dates out of hunger, and the mother looked at the children as the date was in her hand, about to go into her mouth. And one of the younger children looked up at her, and he had finished the date already. And what the mother did was break that date in half and give a half to each of her children without tasting it herself. Despite her hunger, despite her need for sustenance as well, she showed mercy to her children first. And in the narration of this hadith, the Sayyida Aisha explains to us that in that moment she said to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, imagine if the mercy of a mother to her children is like this, what the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is towards us, and He is the most merciful. And this is how we incorporate rahmah in our day-to-day lives, in being able to look beyond ourselves, to cross the edges of the nafs, of feeding our own desires, in order to show mercy to those who love us and to those who we love in our family. So this Ramadan, I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us all to emulate that characteristic of mercy towards one another, to be just a little bit kinder, to be just a little bit more compassionate, to be just a little bit more empathetic, and to reach out towards our family members and towards our loved ones with mercy and kindness and compassion. For truly, Huwa Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, and we ask that He allows us to incorporate rahmah in all that we do as well. Jazakum Allahu khair for listening, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow when we look into the next name of Allah. Assalamu alaikum.